Hi and welcome back to David Pattinson's Accused Friends. I want to do a video today on the case for emigration during lockdown, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because Britain used to be the country that you could live in and live in freedom and personal liberty, and obviously those days are over now, maybe temporarily, maybe permanently, but I want to reach out to a lot of the young people who watch my videos and who are in our country, and I think to say that young people have been treated horribly by lockdown would probably be the understatement of the century. Young people who are relatively healthy, who have a minuscule probability of dying from the coronavirus, have had to give up all of their British civil liberties and have also had to pay the cost of Rish's outrageous debt slavery that he's put young people into. I estimate the cost of the lockdown will be $2 trillion. I've been estimating that and predicting that for months, and I totally stand by it. Elderly people, retired people will not have to work to pay off that debt, but young people will. And now, of course, there's threats from the government of, young people can't socialize with their friends, they are going to have to be imprisoned at university, and all these other kind of threats. And when you have government by threat, government through bullying, government by diktat, this is what you're going to get. But I wanted to sort of communicate with our young people that there are other options out there to you. There's been this big mental health crisis that we were talking about in the country before lockdown, but since lockdown, no one's really talking about that anymore. The royal family were big into that, Prince William talking about mental health crisis, but yet we never talked about the cause of the mental health crisis. Was it government by terror? Was it media propaganda? We never quite got to the bottom of it, but obviously there's going to be a lot of mental health problems as a result of the lockdown. There was the story this week about how the lockdown was going to kill 70,000 people, and I'm sure that's an underestimate, but that's the state of affairs. Anyway, let me move on to emigration. I'm not telling anyone to emigrate. I'm just saying that everyone should look at what's best for them. If you're a young person, you can't socialize with your friends, you can't go out when you want, you have to be forced to wear a face mask against your will. What's wrong with looking abroad? I'm a very lucky person. I've lived abroad before, had lots of opportunities to live abroad, and it's been a great experience for me. I had a gap year in Australia. I lived there for a year. It was really great, and lived in the United States as a young boy, and also as an adult. I have a US green card, and lived in the US, in California, or in Washington DC for many years, and it's great to go and live abroad and work abroad and earn money abroad and, understand that there's more than one way to skin a cat. And with this coronavirus, a lot of countries have approached it very differently. I did a trip to Belarus about a week ago and did a video from there, learned a lot about what it looks like to not have a lockdown. And there's a lot of countries in the world looking to recruit people, talented people, smart people, to boost their countries, boost their workforces, bring ingenuity and enterprise and intuition and energy and talent to their countries. So if we are to believe that the coronavirus does not metastasize and spread in warm climates and where there's a lot of vitamin D, that would suggest that some of the Mediterranean countries are great places to go to survive the virus, and also to, more importantly, survive the government tyranny and have the government tyranny out of your life. And if that's something that appeals to you as a young person, you don't need to leave forever. You can just leave until the Conservative Party are out of power and we have a new Conservative Party that's actually conservative, that can come in and replace them, and that does not believe that debt slavery is the only solution to kind of every financial problem. So I want to encourage young people to look at this option. If you think it's an option for you, I want to say it's out there. Other people will say, no, David, we really need our people to, if young people leave our country, who's going to pay off all our debt? And that gives young people a lot of leverage, I think. I mean, Prince Charles had a big story in the Daily Telegraph over the weekend talking about how, young people's need a lot of support because their careers are going to be gravely devastated through the lockdown. But of course, typical of the royal family, they're always late to the party. Prince Charles wasn't out there saying this before the lockdown was implemented. He only brings it up afterwards. Prince Charles, I think, is a big part of the problem. He was saying at the start of last year how we only had 10 years left to save the planet, unless we, quote unquote, did something, but doesn't think, locking down the world economy is sufficient still today. And, you just wonder, if you're trying to plan for retirement, if you're just trying to plan for, the next phase of your life, if the world's going to end in 9 years, what's the point? How are you supposed to plan for the future? Why don't you just give up? Or why don't you just emigrate? Maybe go to another country that's not going to die out within 10 years, unlike Great Britain. Some people say, hey, David, Prince Charles is prone to a bit of hyperbole. And yeah, maybe he was copying the Al Gore tactic from 2004. Al Gore, just coming off the back of his presidential race in the United States, predicted the world would end in 10 years if we did nothing. And 2014 came and went, and, the world didn't end. So Prince Charles maybe trying the same trick now. It's part of this government by terror, government by, terror, threatening people, government by fear. And, you wonder why we have a mental health crisis in our country. Maybe Prince Charles and, some other leaders of our country are causing all these problems. But I wanted this video to just be about planting the seed of emigration. If people think, hey, I'm a British citizen, I want to live in freedom, I can't do it in Great Britain, there are other options out there for you. And I'm someone that's lived abroad. I loved it. It's been great. I'm proud to be a British citizen, but I'm very, very disappointed at the state of affairs in the UK right now. That's why I've been standing up against the lockdown from day one, because it violates all our civil liberties and it's totally destructive to economic health. It props up the pensions of old people if we can steal money from the future and pump it into the present. So there's a lot of special interests who have benefited from the lockdown. It also benefits big business. During lockdown 1, we noticed big business stayed open while small business closed. But I'm sure with lockdown 2, it will be the same. It won't be a case of small business is open this time, big business closed. It will be the same. And, if you are a young person, if you're an enterprising person, you want to benefit from creative destruction. When the market crashes, you can come in and pick up good deals and grow the business for the next economic cycle, create jobs and opportunity. It's part of the free enterprise system. But of course, young people get the cost without the benefit. The indebted, inefficient companies are bailed out, and the debt and the bills is passed on to young people through the process of debt slavery by Rishi. And it's been going on before Rishi, but he's just sort of taken it to the next level. So I encourage everyone who's also disappointed about the future of our country to think about what I'm saying. Look at other countries, look at other options. Doesn't have to be for a particularly long time. It can just be a holiday. But freedom exists elsewhere in the world, even if it doesn't here. And, I think we can spread the message of freedom as British citizens by exporting it out to the world and, encouraging free societies, supporting free societies, and participating in free societies, because it is part of who we are. It's in our DNA. So I hope you like this video, and please subscribe to the channel. We'll keep these coming, and look forward to talking with you again soon.